And then how do we provide pathways for people who are interested, who will be made relationship and contact with, to encounter Jesus, to encounter Christianity, to think about being active in a church? What's the pathways? The church has always had the catechumenal process for 20 centuries of a pathway from outside and unbelief to belief and inside. What are some of those pathways in the 21st century? Every church needs those. And then lastly, I think we need to be online and digitally enabled. And for me, this is blending gathered with online learning environments, both, not either or, and then linking intergenerational peer experiences, daily home life, using the ability of the digital. And so there were so many questions around that. I think we now have the abundance of resources. That's not a problem at all. We've got tons of digital resources and digital tools. We need the strategies to connect those to the lives of people, so we can engage people with all kinds of faith-forming content in ways we could have imagined 7 years ago, 5 years ago. We could extend everything we do with people at church out into their daily life. I'm going to show you a couple of examples just to kind of tease your thought more tomorrow morning. To connect faith formation in a gathered setting with an online setting in one package. In a school setting, they would call that flipping the classroom. And to offer a variety of online faith formation content and courses for self-study. Every church here could start adult faith formation next Friday, if you wanted to. Just with the vast amount of online, that's all digital. Courses on just about everything and anything that you could offer your adults who do not have time to go find it, even the ones who are actively engaged. They're not going to go searching it out. They're going to want to go to trusted content you provided for them in an online platform for adult faith formation. And so when you think about 10 decades of life, I think about these and say, I can be lifelong faith formation. I don't have to be nailed down to the walls of to the floor of the church. And I'm not going to be limited by the typical excuse I get all the time. We don't have enough time to do adult faith formation. And my point is, you have enough time not to do adult faith formation. It's just not an option. But up to this point, it was hard for me to say, here's how you do it without adding more building staff, nights, programs. Well, now we have ways of doing it that we couldn't have imagined 5 years ago. And for all those who are mired in child protection forms and permission slips and the rest, work with adults. You don't need any of that stuff. And they even have money and they have cars. When's the last time a third grader brought money or a car? So we can do all kinds of marvelous strategies. We'll go more in depth on this, more at the design workshop in August. But enough to say that there's plenty of online content. This is Vibrant Faith at Home from Vibrant Faith. 700 plus faith-forming activities. They're all free. Children and parents, teens, young adults, adults. It's just Vibrant Faith at Home. It's on the top of the handout, vibrantfaithathome.org. Building websites and platforms for that. I'll share more with this tomorrow about how to build an online platform for faith formation. Not a church website with information in Mass Times, but a faith formation learning interactive site that people can learn and access and grow with. And churches are building those. This is a preschool families page of content that simply extended what people were doing with this first church in Simsbury, Connecticut, small church, taking preschool, Sunday school, and extending it for the whole month. This is a month. This was May's online curriculum. May was Our Father month, and all these resources related to the Our Father, none of which the coordinator actually created. She simply curated great content. This is a little church in the middle of Nebraska. When I say little, I mean we're more people here than the town. Every Sunday, the pastor, Breen, extends Sunday morning into people's daily lives. Simple stuff. Chuck Knows Church, kind of a hip video. This comes from Agnew's Day, day.org. It's clever. Every week it's something new. It's free. She has a devotion for adults, which she simply links to. She doesn't write that one. For youth, the same thing. And she writes a family section every week of activities. And then her sermon's also online. That's on a separate page. So here's some content. Doesn't replace Sunday. But if you're on vacation this week and you missed it, we got it. And it extends the campus into people's daily and home life. And you could watch this waiting for kids at soccer practice. Ideally, not on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock when worship is. But even if it was, it's still content. And it's more content they had last week when you didn't have this up. This is their follow-up to Vacation Bible School, which they did the week of June 7th. Taking Vacation Bible School home. The best thing about Vacation Bible School, it's 5 days. The worst thing about Vacation Bible School, it's 5 days. And then you wait 51 weeks for the next edition. Now you don't have to. She can resource these families every week, every month with new content that deepens VBS. What's not to like about the digital world? So part of what we're doing is reimagining church and faith formation to offer a wide variety of engaging, interactive content experiences in online and physical settings. Part of the struggle for all of us, it was for me as well, is to keep these all connected. It's not either or, it's both and. It's not either or, it's both and. Your toolkit just got bigger by a lot. The ways of reaching and engaging people with the good news just got bigger, a lot bigger. Your ways of staying in relationship with people and building contact with others just got a lot bigger. And it couldn't have come at a better time. I don't mind God giving us big challenges. But if God's not up to the task of giving us some abundance to work with, then, that's just frustration. We have big adaptive challenges, and we have an abundance of content and experiences that we now have access to, and most of it is free. That's one great God. We can now offer content experiences. So first is variety, a lot of variety, which you could never do just here. It's like what Netflix can do in the video world that the old CBS, ABC, and NBC could not do, which is what? It's like, oh my God, look at all the stuff. And I don't need to be home at 9 o'clock to see something. In fact, I could see all of it at the same time. And then go in for eye surgery. But the whole shift is that it used to be, now any application to church is purely coincidental. The big 3, 4 networks programmed their content, and you had to be there when it played. This is the pre-DVR world. The Netflix world is, live your life, we don't care, we're open 24/7, and when you want to, access us, and you make the choice, not us. Did I mention that was a shift? So who do you want to be? ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox, or Netflix? Who do you want to be? Not who I want to be. I made my choice 5 years ago. Who do you want to be? And I want to be to offer content experiences to respond to diverse needs. We can do that. To personalize and customize faith formation in ways we never imagined 5 or 10 years ago. Because we can do that. We can address niche needs. Remember in the old model, one size fits all, even if it didn't fit you. We still do that with worship. I'm a Roman Catholic. God forbid you change a word. Oh my God. Somebody visits you from Rome the next day. It's true. It's worse than putting a Disney movie on your website. Disney takes 2 days to get to you. Never thinking about how do we personalize and customize worship so it addresses all that generational diversity, religious diversity. You can do it today. You can absolutely do it. All those tools are in your hands. You have them right now. And third, how do we enable congregations to be centers for learning and faith growth? Centers for that. Utilizing the best of the technologies to provide abundance of meaningful and engaging faith-forming experiences for everybody. If you started thinking of yourself as a center of learning, mission, faith formation, and serving the wider community, that whole ecosystem starts to make a lot of sense. So far, so good? That's what you assessed when you did the congregational assessment guide. This is simply the back story.